All right. I think we're going to call the October 15th hearing of the Scituate Zoning Board of Appeals to order. First, a quick note. In response to Governor Baker's declaration of a public health emergency and the related emergency executive order dated March 12th, 2020, the town of Scituate public meetings shall meet remotely until further notice. This meeting will be live recorded by Scituate Community Television and can be viewed live on cable television channel 9. Participation for the public hearing will be available by audio conference bridge. For audio participation, calling can be accessed by the number 425-436-6308. The access code is 538960#. Again, the number is 425-436-6308. Access code when prompted is 538960#. Once you're in, you can follow the instructions. Questions or comments will be allowed during the moderated question and answer period following the audio directions. Your phone should otherwise be muted, but we also ask people calling in, if you are not speaking, to please mute your line. One other order of business. This is a 5-member board where we have 3 voting members. We typically have, a 6. No, it's a 5-member board. And we typically have all members here when they're available, and we all vote. And we are down a member. We're currently operating with only 4 members. I'm of the opinion that this is a board that's crucial to the continued operation of town. And to the extent there is anyone out there or watching who might be at all interested, we would love to have them apply through the Board of Selectmen to join the board.
If they're watching, they must be terribly gluttons for punishment, or really just overly enthusiastic about zoning. And both people we'd like to have.
Yeah.
Either one.
That's right. With that, we have a couple of continuances tonight, I think. The first application is that of Brian and Melanie Legge, care of Walter Sullivan, requesting a variance to allow for the construction of a 30 by 15 foot swimming pool and a 10 by 12 foot pool house on the south side of the lot closest to Parker Avenue on a non-conforming lot at 9 Moreland Road in Scituate. And Bob, I believe the office has received a request for a continuance from the Legges?
Yes, we did, late yesterday afternoon.
Okay, with that, I would make a motion to allow the continuance.
Move to continue the application of Brian and Melanie Legge to the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals in October.
In November 19th, the next meeting.
Oh, this is October. November.
I know, time flies when you're having
sorry,
fun.
That was continued from September, so November, just before Thanksgiving.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Here we go. So continued.
We have a member zooming in with us, so
That's right. That's good to remember. Sorry about that, George.
No problem.
Second application, that of Martin and Ann Tomei of 11 Second Avenue in Scituate, requesting a variance pursuant to Section 950.2C of the Scituate zoning bylaw and MGL Chapter 48, Section 10, and or any other relief the Board of Appeals may grant to construct an addition to a pre-existing non-conforming structure on a non-conforming lot. The property being located at 11 Second Avenue in Scituate. Bob, am I correct? This isn't a continuance, right?
This is a withdrawal based on the fact that researching and documenting the average setback as the bylaws allow of the properties 200 feet to either side of their property proved that the average setback of those properties was less than the 30-foot stipulated zoning bylaw setback typical, but allowed them to go forward with the project as designed and still be within that setback limitation. So in other words, they really don't need any sort of relief from the board. They can simply come in and apply for a building permit, which will be granted.
Fantastic.
The average they met the average setback?
They met the average setback requirement, and so, yes.
Should we vote on a withdrawal?
We probably should. We move to allow the second applicant, Martin and Ann Tomei of 11 2nd Avenue, to withdraw without prejudice.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Fantastic. All right, with that, I guess Bob, do you know if we have the Fassendens available?
I
I know it can be hard to tell there.
do not know that.
Want to try to unmute? And we'll see.
They don't appear on my visual list here.
Is there anyone other than George on the list?
Yes, there's NSC MAKITI.
Is it Paul Merritt?
Ken Conway and Michael Fuller.
All right, well, why don't we unmute everyone and see who's who?
Q&A session has started.
Do we have the Fessendens or someone appearing on their behalf available? Do we have the Lopes or someone appearing on their behalf available? Do we have anyone on the call at all? I'd just like somebody to answer to make sure that we're actually unmuted.
Yeah, that's a good question. We may not be.
Okay,
Hang on a moment.
we're going to hang on 1 second. This is a good opportunity to recognize Bob Vogel from the building department, who is going above and beyond tonight, acting as our IT executive vice president.
So what we need the callers to do is press *6, and that will put them in the queue, and I believe then I can unmute them.
All right, if either of the applicants are available, if you could please press *6 on your phone. Interesting.
Okay, let's try
Paul
this.
Maravito's on both of these, so he's the engineer on both projects.
Yeah.
Good evening. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. Great. This is James Fessenden, and I'm here with my wife, Jamie Fessenden. Hello.
Oh, good.
Hi there. This is good news.
Hi. We had a brief panic when you couldn't hear us.
No, it's no
I
problem.
was equally panicked, but we seem to have found the right button to push.
So we'll get that started. This is our third application, James and Jamie Fessenden of 10 Eagles Nest Road in Scituate, requesting a special permit finding pursuant to Section 810.2 of the Scituate zoning bylaw and/or MGL Chapter 48, Section 6, to allow the extension of an existing structure on a pre-existing non-conforming lot, increasing the gross floor area by more than 20%. Property being located at 10 Eagles Nest Road. Mr. and Mrs. Fessenden, if you could please just tell us a little bit about your project.
This is a raised ranch that we'd like to add a floor to increase the square footage for more bedrooms, more living space. And reconfigure the main living floor, which is the second floor, and reconfigure the first floor.
Fantastic. And so it looks to me like there is no change whatsoever proposed to the existing footprint of the building, and really the only change is a small overhang in the rear that will be created when the second floor is added, or is that the existing overhang?
That's actually the front.
That's the front, excuse me.
The front's on Eagle Nest Road.
So is that we're looking at the plan, and the front, there's a second floor overhang. Is that the existing overhang, or will that be a change?
No, that'll be a change. The one that says proposed, I think it says 1 foot by 9.5 feet. That will be actually it's not part of the second floor. It's like an entrance to the house, just so you can have a little covering when you enter the house.
I gotcha. And that looks to me to still be within the required setback. So we don't have a new nonconformity issue there. That's really all I have. Ed?
Oh, the applicant did provide a set of plans with elevations of existing and proposed. For the audience, it's hard to see the plans, but it basically is a basic raised ranch at the moment. I'm familiar with the property. I used to live in the neighborhood on Gilson. And actually my uncle, I think, built Eagles Nest Road back in the 50s. They're proposing to add a gambrel roof on the structure, replacing the regular not a hip roof, gabled roof, with two doghouse dormers connected by a shed dormer and a lovely widow's walk on the top. The additional encroachment on the front yard, which will still be within the legal setback or the zone setback, is the overhang of the looks like you're going over a little bit on the second floor is going to overhang a bit, or it does currently, and you're going to extend out an entrance vestibule, just a small gable roof to allow for getting out of the rain as you're opening the door. Is that a fair representation?
Yes.
I think the reason you're before us is because your lot currently has a lot area less than the required 10,000 square feet, about approximately, or it's 8,446 square feet, and lot frontage of less than the required 100 feet, 74.42 feet. All the setbacks you're well within, and you're here because the gross square footage, the gross living area is increasing by more than 20%. Is that correct, Bob?
That's correct.
In fact, it's increasing quite a bit. It appears you're increasing it by 97%. You're almost doubling the size of the home by putting the second floor on, or the third floor. Well, second floor, because the lower level is a half level. The elevations are still within zoning regulations. I don't see any reason, other than the size of the lot, that they would be here, and we can't change the size of the lot, and neither can they.
No, the frontage.
Or the frontage, or the width through the lot, through the dwelling.
Nope. And I think it's a pretty conservative addition.
I do too.
I have nothing to add. Bob, do you mind if we?
Nothing to add here.
Yeah.
Is there any on
And
Seeking
anyone?
to
Let's find out. Mr. Conway? Hello, Mr. Conway, can you hear us?
Are you able? I think the group's small enough. Are you able to just unmute everyone?
No, not that I know of.
Okay.
Mr. Conway, are we in touch?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Conway.
Hey, how are you? This is Ken and Carol Conway.
Hi.
And we totally support what James and Jamie want to do.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for the comment.
If anyone else, they should be pressing *6 if they want to speak. Is that right?
Right. Next one, Mr. Fuller, are you with us? Mr. Fuller, are you with us?
Conway is the one at the big one at the end, the great big monster at the end of Eagles Nest.
Mr. Fuller may have left the meeting. I indicate that the line is open to him. Let me go to the next question.
Okay.
Mr. Pratt? Mr. Christopher? I have a Christopher P. on this line.
The addition. He's the builder, probably.
Oh dear. Come on.
So for anyone
Trying to reach Mr. Fuller, who
watch,
is indicating the line's open.
so for anyone who's watching, we're just trying to cycle through the conference bridge to make sure we hear from any of the callers who are interested in this application. It's a bit of a tedious process, and we apologize.
Mr. Fuller may have left.
All right.
Um,
Does it look like you still have people in the queue to speak
I
about
have
this, or?
one I'm trying to access.
Okay. Give it one more minute.
I'm getting what I need to get. Mr. Christopher? Is there a Pat Christopher on the line?
Star 6 to speak.
I apologize.
We need,
It shows,
so if they're showing up in your queue, did they already press star 6? We don't know. Okay.
I don't know if that's the case, honestly.
Okay.
This,
To be honest,
hello, is this Mr. Christopher?
do we have someone on the line?
Hello?
Hello, who is this, please?
This is Lisa Aronson.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa. You don't appear on my screen, but that may-
Okay.
that's fine.
Lisa, do you have something to add or ask on this application for 10 Eagles Nest Road?
No. Maybe I thought I pressed star 6 when it said you wanted to listen. Maybe I pressed in at the wrong time.
That's quite all right. Sorry for the confusion.
Are you hoping to participate in the next hearing or one of the, are you here to speak about 34 Holly Road?
I live next door, and I kind of just wanted to listen.
All right, well, hang on, we'll be there in a minute, that's our next hearing.
We'll be there in just a moment. Thank you.
Okay.
I would, if we can entertain a motion, I would move to grant the relief sought under Section 810.2 of the Scituate zoning bylaw and Chapter 48, Section 6, to allow the addition to the, increasing the floor area by more than 20%.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
There's George, aye. All right.
Aye.
I'll
We
write,
have it.
I'll write it.
Thank you.
Do I have a Mr. or Ms. Christopher on the line at the moment?
Oh, I think maybe. Bob, I think we can let that.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, just waiting for the next hearing.
Oh, fine,
So I
thank you.
think-
Okay, that clarifies that matter.
Sorry, Bob, but we go ahead and close the public comment for that one.
Yep.
I think that was safe house, so straightforward enough.
Agreed.
With that, we're going to move to our fourth application. That of Joe and Rita Lopes of 34 Holly Road in Scituate, Massachusetts, requesting a special permit finding in accordance with MGL Chapter 48, Section 6, and/or Section 810.2 of the Scituate zoning bylaw and/or relief the Board of Appeals may grant to raise detached garage and reconstruct and attach a two-story garage on a pre-existing non-conforming lot. Again, for the property at 34 Hawley Road in Scituate. Are the Lopes on the line? Or anyone on their behalf? Think we need, if anyone on behalf of the Lopes is available, I think we need them to press *6 on their phone to be placed into the queue here so we can unmute you.
So far, no new callers are appearing.
Well, I've never done this before, but this was a pretty thorough application.
And it looks like Mr. Marabito indicated that he was gonna present, possibly.
I don't have Paul in the queue.
Should we consider proceeding without them? Or at least talking about it?
I think we could. I think the,
I think the only people that would complain would be them. And I think maybe they won't complain if we proceed.
the only question I would ask the chairman is in the notice for the, at least as printed in my notice, it says to raise a detached garage and reconstruct an attached two-story garage. In the application, it shows on the plan that it is currently attached. It is described in the narrative that it is attached. And in the pictures, it's hard to tell, but I think that one of the photographs is intended to show us that it is attached. There appears to be a roof attaching the garage to the rear structure of the rear extension of the existing house. And the reason I bring it up is that it would make a difference if it was detached or not attached. It's the only thing I'd like to ask the applicant if they were here. But
If it's detached now and they're attaching it, there's a new nonconformity concern.
that would be my thought.
I think we need clarification from them.
I
on that.
think that's a good point.
Again, nothing in the application refers to a detached garage, but our,
So,
well, wait a minute, let's see, it says, nope, I'm sorry, the description of the nature of the request under our application says, applicant seeks to approve the raise and reconstruct in an existing detached garage and reconstruct same as an attached garage, including second floor level for storage and/or living space pursuant to 810.2.
Right.
So we have conflicting testimony within the application, which concerns me.
yeah, and which, like you said, is not a trivial difference given
No.
the code. And also, I think that, yeah, and then given that the living space now and later becomes a question as well.
Well, and we'd be creating living space within a very small number of feet of the side yard.
Yep. That potentially doesn't exist now. We don't really know.
If it currently exists and it's 0.9 feet, and the proposed is 2 feet, that's good. That's reducing a nonconformity.
But if it doesn't currently exist, and by looking at the pictures, I think there's a chance that it may not.
Right.
That's different.
And Mr. Marabito we have a stamped plan which shows that it may be attached, but again,
It's hard.
I'd like to have
We need the
clarification
applica-
before we
we
made
need
the
it.
application,
Yep.
before we made decision.
So I have 3 callers on here. Shall I ask if anybody is, again, speaking for this project?
I think so. Please.
Mr. Fuller, are you on the line at all now?
Or, I think really, maybe each time we press, if there's anyone who wants to speak up other than George, we'd probably hear him out.
Yeah, right.
George can speak up too.
So, Mr. Fuller, if you have words to say about either of these 2 projects, this would be the time. I show you as being live.
Can't tell. I can't tell. I think it's attached. I think there's no living space.
I think it's detached, there's no living space.
I think it's detached now. I
Hello.
honestly
The plan
don't.
looks like attached.
Is this Mr. Christopher?
The
Pictures.
narrative set, the application.
Yes, it is.
Do you wish to speak to the Holly Road project?
Yes, I do.
Now is the time to do that.
Oh, sorry. So he's here on behalf of the applicant?
I take it you're
You're
a
seeing a
butter
butter.
or a neighbor, but not here on behalf of the applicant necessarily.
No, my sister-in-law is the abutter. I'm on Noel Ave. That used to be my mother-in-law's house.
Okay.
My
So we're still,
problem,
So I'm sorry, sir.
I-
I'm sorry, sir. Just one moment. I'm not sure I love the idea of opening public comment before we've given the applicant a chance to
yeah.
speak.
No,
So I think if
beg
we're
your
going to
pardon.
continue this, I apologize.
No.
You'll certainly.
Excuse me. My question isn't against the applicant. My question has to do with the application. The fact that the application says it's a detached garage, in fact, it isn't. If you look at the tax sheet, it's an attached garage. So now, the applicant, if they want to put a second story on that garage, raise it and put a second story in the garage, they're adding more than 20% more. So the application is wrong. That's my point.
Well, thank you very much, sir. That's useful information.
Okay?
Thank you.
Well, it's not useful information. I'm just saying that the current garage is attached to the house. So when he's asking to raise a detached structure, when in fact it's attached currently to the house. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. I thank you very much.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So I think, so Bob, you think we have a few more people?
we have one more person, but it appears to be the Fessingens back on the line.
Okay.
And we'll get to them, hopefully.
All right. And I think that really we're just looking for the applicant now. I think unless either of you disagree,
No, I need.
I think we'll save public comment
Yeah, I don't,
No, I
for,
think-
for once we've heard from the applicants.
I've basically gone through everyone here.
Ed, do you think there's a reason to hear from the abutters right now before we hear from the applicants?
Well, I think the challenge is there is still some ambiguity in the application. I would argue that the applicant's application is within the bounds of our being able to hear it, because the fact that it states it being attached and that's in error, actually it's an error which makes it a broader challenge for the ZBA than a correct application which would indicate that it was attached. So opening up consideration, I don't think they have to go back and resubmit or refile the application. I think we can continue it. I think the application is in order. I would call it a Scrivener's error, if that's fair.
I think I would too. One that we need to get to the bottom of.
But I think it is one that we need to remedy prior to
And
being
they can
able to
certainly,
decide.
I mean, they could, before the next meeting, file an amended application if they want to.
Right.
But I doubt they need.
As a housekeeping.
Yeah, for housekeeping, but I don't think they would need to. I think we'd want to be sure that either the engineer who did the plan or someone else is here to represent.
Yep.
I mean, we can go by and look at it during.
I mean, the field card, to actually the caller's point, right? The field card has it listed as an attached garage, but I agree, there is, an issue, right? So I think I completely agree that we should just get clarity on it so that we understand what we're really looking at.
Yeah.
Roger.
I think if the applicant or someone speaking as a representative of the applicant isn't present, I think we should probably move to continue it to our next regular meeting.
I tend to agree. If, I mean, for this, I think we've raised some questions. I think we have any other questions that we want to put out there on the record that might help the applicant be more prepared next time. I think I'm comfortable with that, but I don't see how we go any further on this tonight without them.
I don't.
I'm gonna make a motion.
I think that's going to be the extent of my questions. What's the situation with the garage now? Is it being used for anything other than
No
garage
use.
purposes right now? And then we'll go through our analysis in terms of what's there now and where it is in terms of the setback and what we're doing in the future and what it is in terms of the setback.
I think
That's going to end up being a Gale analysis, but
Does George have any?
No, those are my questions. I want to understand when they say the increase in the proposed square footage. I'm making the assumption that is the proposed second floor in the garage, but I'd like a little clarity on that.
Sure.
And sort of the nature of what that space is going to be, so we can have something in front of us that's complete.
Make a motion.
I'd make a motion to continue the application of the Lopes for 34 Holly Road to our next regularly scheduled meeting in November.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So continued.
Bob, can you reach out to them? And
Yes, definitely will do that.
I think we all regret ever having to continue a meeting that.
Yeah.
And if
We're all
it's a
here.
technical glitch, it's something that's unforeseeable, but
Make a motion to adjourn.
I think so. We don't have any other business. So seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Aye.
we are adjourned.
Go. We're adjourned.
All right.
Thanks, George.
Thank you, guys.
Feel
See you all in
good.
November.
Good luck.
Thanks.